Looking over your career, have there been any big life lessons that you had early on that you've carried with you over this time?
Oh, there have been so many.
That's
I
pretty
have a
open voice.
few. There's a guy named Bob Relier, and he wrote a book called Not So Quiet on the Set. And I met Bob when he had been Steve McQueen's partner, and he produced films like The Great Escape and so forth. But he was head of production at Paramount in the years I was working on Ghost and Flight of the Intruder and Hunt for Red October and so forth. They were all happening around the same time, and he was head of production then. I was talking to him about problems that were coming up and some of the work we were doing, and his kind of mental model was problems aren't an impediment to the job. Solving problems is the job. And it was one of those things that, you come in and every day on a movie, you get thrown some curveball or something goes wrong, or you can't get the elements shot you need, or you can't get the plate you need, or you know, you don't get the turnover from the director early enough, or whatever all the things are that happen. They happen every day on every movie. And you can either let them you can either go to work expecting nothing bad to happen and then have to deal with something, or you can go to work expecting a lot of bad things to happen. And then when they do, you're not surprised by it. It's just the job. You kind of take them in stride. And I've always felt that was a great learning kind of early on, that come into it assuming that the day is going to be fraught with problems that you need to solve, and because it will be. And the days when it's a little lighter, it's kind of a nice win. ILM and Skywalker Sound, I reported to the Lucas board of directors, and there was a guy named Tom Mulaney who was on it, and he was kind of a captain of industry, knew nothing about our business, the entertainment business. I went to him with a problem one time, and it was actually a personnel problem. And he said, he was an Irish guy, and he said, "Jimmy, my boy, you have to look at the situation and decide, does that person belong in your organization or does that person not? And if the answer is no, in your mind, just draw a circle around their face and a slash through it. And you will find a humane way to deal with the next steps of it." And the bigger message there wasn't, that particular one was, as I say, a personnel problem, but the bigger thing I learned from that is separating the decision of a problem from the execution of the solution. Because we can bog ourselves down forever going like, I don't, if I could do that, but I'm not sure how to get there if we do that. And you think of all the reasons not to do something, instead of thinking like, this is the wrong thing, it doesn't work, and decide that doesn't work. You don't have to decide how you're going to solve the problem. You have to decide it's not going to work. And then you will decide how to solve the problem, because you've already forced yourself to have to do that by making the first decision. So sort of bifurcating the decision from the execution is one of those things that is just so useful in so many things in life to think about. So, those are two kind of learnings that kind of happened early-ish in my career that I go back to a lot and think about a lot, and tell people it's amazing how liberating those things can be in terms of helping you approach the kind of work we do. As I say, you're going to get curveballs thrown at you every day, and there's not going to be enough money, and there's not going to be enough time, and you're going to have somebody who's upset, and you're going to have somebody that didn't show up, and you're going to, all of those things you have to come up with a solution for. But that's the gig, I think you have to, as a supervisor and as an artist, you have to do it creatively to make everything work. And I have to kind of do it as an executive or a producer to make everything work. So,
Yeah, no, I love that. It's such great advice.